Imagine, just for a moment, you've spent your entire day managing human tragedies, women in danger, children needing protection. In short, you are exhausted. And in the evening, instead of going home, well, you have to put on an evening gown, smile at strangers, and eat lukewarm hors d'oeuvres. Why? All in the hopes that somewhere between the main course and dessert, someone will pull out a checkbook to pay for the electricity at your shelter next month. This is a call to a quiet revolution. A revolution not against capitalism, but for its reclamation. A revolution for a new model. CapitaCialism. Welcome to the wonderful world of nonprofits. My name is Art, and in this mini-series, we're going to talk about a taboo subject, money in the nonprofit sector. Why are those who save the world doomed to be poor? Today, first episode, the quiet burnout. So Helen, you run a major organization fighting violence against women. When I ask you, how are you doing? Right here, right now. What do you really want to answer?
Honestly? That I'm tired of counting. Really. People, they imagine my job as being on the ground, helping victims. But the reality is that I spend 60% of my time filling out Excel spreadsheets.
Wait a minute. Excel spreadsheets?
But that's the invisible part. Every year it's the same rat race. In January, I don't even know if I'll have the budget to finish the year. I never know. We have 12 employees, psychologists, brilliant lawyers. They have rent to pay, families, and me. I have to look them in the eye and say, well, listen, I think we're good until September, but we're still waiting on the answer for Grant A or Foundation B. Can you imagine the violence of that? We're managing human lives with a 3-month visibility.
It's basically permanent insecurity.
It's acrobatics. And the worst part, Art, is the theater we have to perform. 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting with a major potential donor. Charming man, very wealthy, all that. I had to, how can I put it, pitch him the suffering. I had to tell him terrible stories about battered women, but with just the right amount of emotion so he'd be touched, you see, without being too grim, so I wouldn't scare him away. I heard myself speaking, and I felt dirty, like I was selling misery by the pound, and all that just so at the end, he could tell me, "This is wonderful, I'll give you $5,000. But be careful, I want this to go towards buying toys for the children, not to pay your overhead."
Basically, he wants the comforting image of the toy, not the ugly reality of the electricity bill.
Exactly. We're funded for visible extras, never for the invisible essential.
There's something I hear often when talking off record with non-profit directors, a kind of quiet anger, especially when they look at the economic news.
Oh, that. It's a permanent disconnect. In the morning, I open the news. What do I see? The S&P 500 breaks records, historic dividends, tech giants, big oil, banks posting billions in profits. Money is flowing everywhere. The economy is booming, and in the afternoon, I go back to my office and I have to tell my team, "I'm sorry, we can't replace the social worker who's retiring. We don't have the $30,000. Do you realize? We live on the same planet, but clearly not in the same world.
It's the contrast that hurts the most.
No, it's the absurdity of it all. We clean up society's mess. When a woman is broken, we're the ones putting her back on her feet so she can work again, live again, consume again even. We create immense value for the economy, but we are treated like beggars. We have to say thank you for the crumbs. Sometimes, I feel like we're just the cleanup crew of the system. We clean up, we stay quiet, and we pray for gas money.
You feel like a subcontractor that nobody pays, basically.
Worse than that. I'm a subcontractor who has to apologize for existing. We're expected to be professional managers, to deliver impact reporting, to be efficient like a startup, but with a medieval economic model based on charity. It doesn't work anymore, Art. People in my team are burning out. And not because of the victims we help, no, because of the system that funds us.
Helen, thank you for saying this with so much clarity. Let's pause on something you said, a medieval business model.
Well, that's how it feels.
So you spend your time looking for money that disappears the moment it's spent. It's a bottomless pit. I have a slightly strange question for you. What if the problem wasn't your ability to raise funds, and what if the problem wasn't people's generosity?
Wait, if it's not that, what is it?
What if the problem was the model itself? You said it, we create value, but we don't get any dividends. Can we imagine a world where your nonprofit wouldn't depend on charity anymore?
But we can't do business, Art. We have a social mission, huh?
Precisely. We'll talk about that in the next episode. If you run a nonprofit, I have homework for you this week. Take a piece of paper. Write down the number of hours spent last year filling out grant applications, organizing fundraising events. Look at that number. That is the price of your dependency. Next week, we flip the script. I'll be hosting a philanthropist who decided to stop writing one-off checks. He's asking himself a question that could change everything for Helen and for you. What if, instead of funding a project that lasts 12 months, I gave capital to buy a business that will fund the nonprofit for 20 years? This was CapitaCialism. See you next week.